Hey everyone, RemeiRagingFurry here, and this is a bit of a different video. I wanted to talk to you about my history with Final Fantasy. You know, it all started when I had the PS2. It was when I was young, and I lived in a little place called Hamilton, Washington. Bumfuck middle of nowhere. I didn't have much to do, so I played games a lot, like probably a lot of people. And Final Fantasy VIII was just one of the games I had. I remember having the entire 4-disc set. This was the game I would fall back on when I got bored of Resident Evil, Crash Team Racing, and just a lot of other really old games. I could never beat Final Fantasy VIII, which hopefully I'm getting it soon this Christmas, you know, the remaster for the PS4. Hopefully I'm getting it soon. And when this entire series with 10 and 10-2 is over, I can play number 8 and, you know, like relive my old nostalgia. But I could never beat it. And I played that game until I moved out here at like 18 years old. It's been 5 years now that I've been out here in Las Vegas, and that's crazy to me. When I moved out here to Vegas, I got a PS3. It was a gift from my stepdad. He's like, here, have a PS3. And you know, this was the coolest thing to me, because like I still wasn't caught up with this generation. You'll learn soon that I was a generation behind like everyone, or two probably. But I mean, I had the PS3 when the PS4 was basically already out. And when I got the PS3, I went to DVD buybacks. It's kind of like the de facto used game and DVD store in Las Vegas. And I found Final Fantasy X. Now, I had never seen this game until then. And I'm like, hey, another Final Fantasy game, I might as well try it. I was able to get a special edition with an art book and a game disc, which I recently gave away to my sister. So I played this game off and on when I had the PS3, up until I got my PS4. 2 years, maybe a year and a half ago. I could never beat this game. I mean, I'm sitting here right now at the areas like before the final boss, and I think to myself, how did I get here? But on the PS3, I would play this game when I would get bored of my other games, because I had an updated library, and every once in a while I would fall back on this game. I would get to this point where a boss felt impassable to me, and it would make me quit the game. I would get so fed up with it that I would quit the game and I wouldn't touch it for months. And each time I would come back to the game, reset my save, do it again, and I would beat the boss. And this cycle continued as I met each quote-unquote impassable boss. For instance, the Wyvern was the first one that felt impassable to me. Then it was Seymour. Yeah, because you know what? I can't remember the order now if you meet the Wyvern before you meet Seymour for the third time. But it was like, the ones I remember a lot were Seymour in his third battle on Mount Gagazet, the Wyvern when you're up in the sky, the Guardian, you know, the big guardian dragon, and Sin originally, when you're also up on the ship and you have to beat him in like 3 turns. And these were like these were just the bosses I remember that felt impassable to me. But I would quit the game for months at a time and come back, and then I could beat the boss. And this cycle kept on happening. The last boss that made me quit was Sin. And it almost made me quit the game entirely. and then I got the PS4. Eventually, I went to buybacks again, and I found this same exact game for the PS4. So I played it for a while. I got to some points I didn't enjoy, and that was when I got to Sin originally. It was that specific boss, and so I quit the game. And here I am now playing this game for you. It's my history up until then. Sin almost made me actually quit the game. I was going to sell this game. I was just going to sell it back. But the YouTube series, you know, kind of helped me press on with that. And I was like, no, I'm finally going to beat this game on camera. It's like a personal achievement to me. And I have a lot of history with this game. I have a lot of history with the Final Fantasy series. It's a little bit spotty, like depending on the games I've played. Like the ones I remember are 8, 10. It's going to be 10 too. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube, but I do love the Final Fantasy series. And I told myself when I made this series, you know, I can't stop now. I have to beat this boss. I have to do this. And it's been helping me push forward through the game. And I don't think if I hadn't done this YouTube series, I don't think I would have... I think I would have sold the game if I didn't do this YouTube series. And I'm grateful for myself for pushing myself to do it, but I didn't realize until I got to this point just how close I was to quitting the game and never touching it again. It's I just wanted to record this and get this out there. This is why I have such a fondness for Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy X in that same regard. It's why I love this game so much. It's why I play this for this series. It's why when everything else was vacant on my channel, this is my longest running series. So anyways, I wanted to get that off my chest and explain that to everyone. And I genuinely hope you enjoyed my explanation. I hope you nuzzle someone's muzzle today.